It's a start, isn't it? It's a start. And yes, maybe it's a good summary, Robert. Maybe it's a good summary. But I would again say it's the absence of all. So even don't forget thought masquerades. Many other things, as feelings sometimes, as events, as relationships. I mean, a lot of, or arguably all of, one's life goes on in the realms of imagination, rather than directly apprehend whatever's happening in life. There's always a thought, there's always a narrative, and there's always an image, whereby our lives are not actually lived, but kind of turned into a sort of movie, a kind of false structure of some sort, with a beginning and a middle and an end, and all these other things, because we can't we can't really tolerate the immensity of this single moment of eternity that currently we're in right now. The trick, of course, is to try and have that sensibility. Your awareness will take you into this one single insight, which is there is one eternal moment, and it's happening. Now, in the novenas, which I referred to just now, we talked at length about now, and now is a flaky kind of idea, because now is predicated, it's founded on then and up ahead in the future, inevitably. It doesn't have any meaning without the past and without the future. This incidentally isn't, it is me talking, but I have to point out this is an ancient teaching, which is that now is as much a delusion as then, or up ahead there in the so-called future. There are three levels of delusion. Truth is found not in now, not in this present. It's merely a psychological ploy to help people with anxiety. That's about the best you can make of this idea of now, which has caught on so very drastically and powerfully, because of course people worry. People are in a state of fear, people are planning, people are anxious. So to teach relaxation in a simple form by proposing that you come into now appears to be a profound spiritual teaching. It isn't. Please, everybody, stay with me on this one, because I know it's challenging. I know it's difficult for us, and I know that it repudiates a lot that's very popular in so-called spiritual teaching at the moment. But in ancient teachings, it's made very, very clear that now is founded on the past and the future, and all three are one delusory. They are unreality. The word, as best we can translate it, is unreality. Now isn't real. When I was in the monastery, and I'm speaking to people who may share this experience, you usually have to put in some discipline, at least if you're young or immature in some way spiritually. What would happen every now, because we would be doing Zazen the whole time, and what would happen every now and again is there was nothing, just like that, you see, a space. There was nothing to recall, there was nobody there. I would fall through the cracks. And when I returned, I would think, well, that's funny. And I'd have no reference point whatsoever to what happened. It certainly wasn't now. We were very, very present in everything that we did in the Zen monastery. That Zen, everything was geared to awareness. But in those moments during profound meditation, hours on hours and hours and hours of meditation, every so often for I don't know how long, because this is timeless. Maybe it was a split second, maybe it was 20 minutes, I wouldn't know. You would fall through, nobody would be present, there would be this great resounding feeling when I returned, as it were. And yet none of these words make any sense whatsoever. That experience, because there's no one to experience it and there's no experience, is, was, will be, you see? Mm-hmm. You can only talk about it like this. Is, was, and will be the one single eternal moment in which you and I, we truly meet. We meet without any sense of separation, without any sense of time, without any sense of space or distance, or self-identity which distinguishes us. We don't even distinguish ourselves in that place. There's nobody, there's nothing, there's nothing to do, no one to do it, you see. So, yes, thought, but really everything, in order to establish yourself in this eternal moment. And then other people may have something to share about this or to be interested to hear. But for me, what happened progressively over time was the realization of that eternal moment stays with me persistently, so that whatever's happening in this realm of space, time and apparent relationship, really the realms of arising forms. All of them, by the way, are reflection and temporary adaptations of God. Always, always. You see God, you see the absolute in everything, but it has to be everything. It's not just a pretty flower, you see, it has to be everything. And that's what's happening out there, and you take it very lightly. And, if I meet you, if I meet one of you and I go up and I start talking to your shadow on the ground, you think I was rather strange, you see. Because that shadow is not as corporeal as your physical state. It's not as vital. I mean, we can kick the shadow, we could jump on it. You're not going to be hurt in your physical body, but if we lay you down and we jump on you, that's another matter. So we know, we know there what is the real thing, shall we say, and what is the reflection, or in this case, the shadow. This is the same thing. We know that this world of time and space is a temporary adaptive reflection. It's adapting, it's dissolving, it's constantly dying, it's constantly being born, it's in a constant state of flux. But it isn't in and of itself the real thing. It isn't reality itself. It's a reflection.